Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at Chromite and Hexolite spawns, the best places for them. The update patch that just came out really messed the game up because the duplication glitch for both Hexolite shards and Chromite is now been patched out and it's gone. However, there is a couple of farms here and there, and there is one old glitch which is back, which you can use to get Chromite specifically. So let's talk about that. First and foremost, we need a base for Hexolite. So we're going to go to -1067, -1431, and we're going to build a base here. I already have done this. I had this as one of my Hexolite farms, but then I decided to fight a whole bunch of Xenolords, so I broke it all down so that I could spawn in things, as you can see here. I think I still have, yeah, I still have crude oil going here as well. This spot is good for crude oil. There is an issue with pathing sometimes coming all the way up here, so a lot of your pals will not actually go in the place that they should be going. I think if you maybe pull the pal box back a little bit, they'll have more room to run around. However, you know, you've got everything you can have here. So what I suggest is just building some berry plant farm things and having, you know, just them looking after their own food. And then there are 3 Hexolite shard spawns here that your pals will constantly forever keep on farming every single day. And if you put your daytime speed up, they will keep respawning quicker, meaning you'll get more Hexolites. I have found though that not everything can actually mine these. For some reason my bigger pals just ignored them and it was really frustrating me. I had to put digitoises in so that digitoises could then go and get these. So it was pretty strange. Also as well, you can have your settings put up so that you get more per node every time you actually get one. And obviously as well, then your mobs, when they are farming this, will just have you a constant little consistent supply of Hexolite. Now it's not the best amount, like it's going to just give you a little bit. It's something that you don't have to worry about, but there is other ways to obviously get Hexolite, and we're going to talk about dungeons and stuff as well. But first, let's look at that returning glitch, which I absolutely love. You either need a metal detector for this or a smoky. When you have a smoky, if we go in to have a look at him, if you have his harness, you can get dig, dog, dig. When activated, use its sharp sense of smell to detect nearby Chromite. So essentially it is just a metal detector with a bigger, further range. While fighting together, a large amount of Chromite is obtained. I don't know where you fight things to get Chromite. I don't know what that part of this this perk is. And then we obviously have Smokey's harness, which is on level 56, and I'm assuming it's probably around about 5 technology points. It costs dart fragments, palladium fragments, fiber and leather to craft. It's not too difficult, but let's go and have a look at where this old glitch is. So what we're going to do, just over from the base, there is a Lois Plains fast travel point. If you don't have your base here, this is the one you want to go to anyway to go over and get your base. And we're going to head north to about round about here somewhere, which you'll see me do now. So I'm on my Xenolod. If you just keep the landmarks in mind of where you're flying, like these big rounded pillars, you're going to eventually come to a point where if you look on your left hand side, you'll find those kind of pillars pointing at each other here. Now this is very missable. It is right here in this section. Now there's also an NPC in here which gives you a technology book, not a technology book, a skill workbook for, I think, for the same thing. Mine was gathering. I don't know if it's the same for everyone else, but he is in here just chilling. You can, however, then use your Smokey. Where's he gone? Smokey. Bring him out. Stand next to the NPC. You might have to do this a couple of times depending on where the Smokey is, and you can see that there will be 1, 2, 3, 4 lots of Chromite, which you can then go and obviously pick up. And I think it's like 300 per node when you have your settings all the way up. So right here, right now, I've got 1,200 Chromite without even having to set foot into a dungeon. And on top of that as well, we have those purple chests that we can pick up, which means that when we build a base here, every time you come back here to pick up this Chromite, more than likely these chests will be here as well. At least that's how it was before the patch. I haven't tried after the patch. These also offer you schematics and stuff as well, which you can use with the new drafting table, which is pretty cool. I got some technical manuals. I could do those technology points actually. So now we are ready to build a power box, and knowing me, I forgot my materials. So I'm back with my materials, and you can go in and place a power box here. And to be fair, you don't really need to put anything here. You don't need to put any pals in, none of that stuff. Just potentially just put in a guild chest is probably all you really need to do, so that you can just gain quick access to drop in the chromite and hexolite that you might pick up into it. I don't have the materials right now, but this is technically now just a little quick stop point for me to come in, pick up the chromite and get out of there. This was patched, so I'm assuming it's going to be patched again. So if you need chromite and you don't want to go through all the dungeons, this is the best way to do it. So hexolite from here and chromite from here for quick little grabs, but dungeons are by far the best way to actually get some materials. Let's look at that. So the dungeons on Feybreak Island are never always there. They're not always active. So for instance, this one we're about to go to might not be there, but later on today it might come back. There are about, I believe, 14 dungeons, or like 14 prevalent dungeons, which are easy to get to, and then maybe a few more. So I only hit up roughly 6 to 8 of them just to check if they're there. If not, I'll go do some other stuff like breeding and combat later. And these are where they are located. So the first one, -767, -1197. Then I usually go up to this one here, -883, -1089. Then I fly over here to -1094, -1127. Then I usually go down here to -1209, -1190. Don't worry, I'm going to go to every single one of these locations and show you. So that's 4 of them. Then I typically come all the way back up here to -1005, -1033. And then I usually pick and choose which of these 2 to go to. So one of them is at -839, -961, and the other is at -1082, -839. So I'm going to show you where these are, so you don't need to panic. I was just reading out the coordinates if you wanted a quick way to do that. So we start over here on the right with the Emberstone Plateau fast travel point, and then we fly up here, and this is where your first dungeon could potentially be. Right here. It's not there right now, so I'm going to move on to the next one. So we're heading to this one up here. I wanted to stay here so that you can kind of get a bearing of where you are. So you got this big patch of sand. You want to keep the tree in your view if you can, but we're heading north from this point. Then you just keep going forward, and then eventually if you keep looking down, you'll see some water, and you should see some red rocks. And then you come down here, and this is where one of the other ones could be. So this one here is a little bit trickier. You can see I'm right by this pool of water here, but we're going to go this way. I just wanted to give you some bearings. We've got the coast over there, the big river that comes up, a nice pool here and a nice pool there. Then we are going to turn this way, and you can see that we have all these mountains, but between those mountains you can see another pool of water right here. So if we head down, you can see that this is another place where the dungeon can be. No, my luck, not one of the ones I usually check will have the dungeon active. Right, so this one's pretty in the open at the -1209, -1191. You see this nice pool of water. We got Ram over here that you can defeat, and it's pretty obvious where it is, right here in the water, and that's very easy to get to. So a really clear one for the kind of, because you're going through this way and then you got to go back up here. So this one's not too difficult. It's a one you could just zoom by and go up to the next place without worrying or thinking too much. So now we're looking for this one over here. I just wanted to bring you to this section so you can see this big rounded area, which I think the alpha boss spawns at over here. The Nyathia. No, yep, there we go. I'm going to take that chest. You want to turn around and you want to face selfish. Follow this pathway all the way down. And then on your right here, just around the corner, the dungeon will be here, right there. So that is another clear, easy one to get to. All right, this one up here, you know, we're looking at the beach area. And if you just turn around and go this way, it's just sitting right here on this beach. Pretty easy one to also get to. You don't have to worry too much about looking around because it's just at the end of the beach. All right, next up, the last one we have over here in this nice little ice patch near the top of the Feybreak Island. And you're just going to see all around you all these kind of landmarks that you can match up with. But if we just turn around and head this way towards all these enemies, you can see that the dungeon is right there. So that was 3 or 4 dungeons out of the 7 that I checked. So, you know, good ratio right there. And that is all of the things that you need. So when you're in one of these dungeons, they have varying different paths to take. Some start in one specific area like this, another starts in another area. There's also one that just has a completely different set of like setups and stuff and like a different rooms. So essentially you just want to go through and you want to get all the hexolite that you can, but there are specific rooms where you can use your smoky to get more chromite, which is what we're going to look at too. But this is not the fastest or easiest or best way to get chromite, but it is just a guaranteed spawn which is in these dungeons, and some of them have quite a fair bit of quartz in. Like the actual duplication glitch that was in the game before could make you get 5, 6 well, that's a bit of lag, 5, 6, 7 times the amount of quartz every single time you ran it, and it was a godsend. But they've patched that now, so we typically now just have to go the old-fashioned way until something new is found. And you can see that there's just things everywhere. That's how many quartz already? Probably around about 700, because I think I already had some on just from this first room. If you have your settings all the way up, let me just grab this as well. Boink. And then we're going to use smoky in the next room, because typically the more open rooms have access to chromite as well. Though I do think one can actually spawn right here in this section. Come here, Smoky. Come on, come on. But don't quote me on that. Also pick up the flowers if you want. I don't really care too much about them. But we come here and we're going to get him to do it again. Oh, no chromite there. But there is some down there, which is great. So we're going to go and do that. I've got my settings set up to just do max damage. And then we're going to go get all of this chromite. 300. Hit it with that, get another 300. Get out of here. Then we have that room over there, which we're going to go check in a second. But first, we're going to go up here and use the smoky again. Come on. Okay, none there. So in this room, from what I can remember, there isn't no hexolite quartz that can spawn here, but there is chromite that can spawn in this room. How did that miss? I'll take that. Nice. Don't die, Smokey. I need you alive. There's also a chest here as well, which is pretty good. Right. So, use your thing. Ignore the Starion. Okay, I just seen one spawn here, which is great. So let's pick that up. Kill you. Use you again. Oh, they're everywhere now. They're everywhere. I actually feel like there's more since the update. There's not typically this many in this room, so that's pretty cool. Come on, lad, let's go. I'm fairly sure they've upped the chances of finding chromite and hexolite in these dungeons to compensate for the glitch being patched, because I'm getting way more than I usually get. So far we've got 3,300 chromite. I had some before I came in here though, and then probably about 1,400 hexolite quartz from this one single run. Now typically there's no more in this whole area because we're going into the final boss room now, but I'm going to check the final boss room just to see if they have actually changed anything. That is not what I wanted to do. What are you? You are a Nightmare. Pow! Come here. Boom. God, I love cheating. No, I'm just kidding. I only ever put my settings up like this when I'm making videos because I want it to go by quicker. Don't see any spawning over there. It's probably none in here. So let's just go pick up the chest and continue at looking where all the other dungeons are. Right, so let's pick up these chests, see what we get. Boom. Boom. Oh, a future technical manual. We'll take that. So you can see that running these dungeons, obviously it's a lot quicker for me because I've got my settings set up that way. But definitely worth going to get your quartz and your chromite. Specifically quartz, because chromite you can get from that cave as well. So you can see that typically there is over half the amount of dungeons active in the ones that I checked. Usually I think at least there's been 2 for me every single time. So for me that's a really good ratio that I got 4 of them to appear then. I have all the hexolite quartz and all the chromite that I could ask for. I have a whole bunch of chromite from the glitch duplication, so I don't even need to find them when I go in there. I'm just going to use those dungeons for hexolite shards. because I need to make some hexolite. So I can make 140 at the moment with the hexolite quartz that I just had. Hexolite quartz is a pain in the arse to try and get. Let's make some plasteel, why not? And that's it, that's the whole video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. And if you have any other kind of farms or anything for Chromite, for quartz, let me know down below. Thank you for watching. I've been easing out. You guys have been awesome.